So did I tell you about the time I did combo, the frog medicine? Not the hallucinogenic frog medicine, but the purging frog medicine.
Yes, where your face
My
fucking
face,
blew
yeah,
up.
right, yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah, hallucinogenics and like energetic medicines. When you look in the mirror, it's just such a weird thing.
I've heard that, and I've also heard woo-woo theories about that, of like how you're seeing like an alternate version of yourself, or like the mirror is alive, and that
Right.
could be like just people just talking out of their
remember
ass.
this?
But I was like, that would be the worst thing, looking at myself while I'm knee deep in tripping balls.
Do you remember those fucking snacks called combos? It was like a
Oh, yeah.
pretzel with like
They
shit.
still
in
got
middle.
them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love those.
That's good talk.
Yeah.
That's also the first thing I think of when he says he
Combos, like, yeah,
takes combos.
combo,
I was
yeah,
like, yeah, I fuck with combos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had an experience one time, one of my early hero's journeys that I took with psilocybin, and I remember I was sitting on the toilet, not going to the bathroom. I just needed to like be in a smaller space.
Sure.
Shitting and tripping.
Yeah.
It happens. It's not fun.
And no, it does. Well, when I used to take acid a lot, when I shit was when the acid would kick in.
Yeah.
And that was just like a trigger for me. I don't know why.
Interesting.
But yeah, so I was sitting there on the toilet, and my head was in my hands, and I was just like kind of massaging my head, just like, oh my God, like I'm so deep into this shit right now. And I looked up, and I looked at the mirror, and I was like, oh, that's what this body looks like. And I was like, whoa, that was a weird statement.
Yeah.
And I was like, what does that mean? And I'm like, and then like the backing voice in my head was like, yeah, this body will do. This will do. I'm like, oh, wow,
Fuck,
very
it's
interesting.
Oh, your self is looking at your eye.
Yeah. It was almost like the realization of that this is something different, but also me. It was weird. Yeah, it was very interesting. It took me a while to wrap my head around.
I was reading Eckhart Tolle's book, and he was talking about the moment where he was like suicidal and super depressed, and this was before he kind of found his zen or whatever. And he just kept saying, I can't live with myself. I can't live with myself. And then he stopped and was like, what a weird statement that is. That means I'm two different people. Like, I can't live with myself. So what is the self that I cannot live with?
Well,
and who is the I? And once he started talking about that, I was like, oh my God.
I mean, you guys, I'm previous on a podcast, and again, this is much more kind of your guys' realm than mine, but you've talked about like that, I don't know which one of those dudes or people.
Ram Dass, probably.
They came up with the, what is this, or what is this
Yeah,
shit?
the my arm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like oh, fuck, I don't even know what that shit
Totally.
means.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of the ways that we speak about ourselves without even realizing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have a duality, but we dismiss it.
Yeah.
We it's built into our vernacular. Even like before pronouns became what they are now, like a big hot topic. If, say, like, Kinsey, you and I went out to lunch, right? And you were in the bathroom, and the waiter came over and said, hey, is everybody here? And I'd be like, no, they'll be back in a second.
Right. Yeah.
It's automatically referred to as a they,
Yeah.
even though you're a you,
Yes.
right? So, like, the way we speak about all this stuff is very strange when you start to really break it down, like, especially the whole my's and, like, my arm, my head, my eyes. Well, if I'm all me, then why am I possessing myself?
Right. Yeah.
You know,
and what is the I identifying of the self? Like there is this higher version of self that once I really started to dig into that was like, that is a wild concept that I can't believe I didn't recognize before.
Yeah. It's crazy shit. Speaking of other crazy shit, so I went and saw this guy. I don't know if I told you guys about this.
I love those.
Yeah. This looks like an Optimo. So back in the day when we were, oh, that's interesting. There's something floating there, right?
Yeah, it's from that because I've had those before.
Okay,
It's from the outside of it.
Back in the day, we used to smoke Optimos, and it was a style of blunt, but it was like a grape leaf wrapped blunt.
Okay.
These are my favorite.
And so yeah, it was great.
Hey, man,
know?
don't be saying the quiet part out loud.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, this just in. Yeah, the record skips. We occasionally smoke weed during this podcast.
They truly are. But,
Oh my
I
God.
will say the dose joints that are wrapped in the palm leaf they're by far my favorite.
Well, so
They're so expensive, but
don't know
I
if
can
I've
make
had
them
those.
last. I mean, that's. The filter's great. It's smooth. I like the high.
I literally said fuck it because it is expensive, and I just said I'm still on quote vacation.
No, it's great. I'll splurge on those a couple of times. Yeah.
But I went and saw this guy today. So yesterday, I woke up and I couldn't breathe. Oh, that is fucking trippy. Look at this thing. It's like floating right
It's
here.
just the palm leaf.
Yeah. I could not breathe out of the left side of my face. And I've had no sinus issues all summer. Like I went and saw this guy a couple months ago, and he
also like not doing nasal spray.
not doing the nasal sprays, just
That's
kind of
been a
staying away
thing.
from that shit
Yeah.
totally. And I saw when I went back and I saw my dude, the sinus ninja today, this morning, and he did that shit where he stuck the cotton swabs up my nose and bursted all like the bio cells and shit.
And you got adjusted in your nose?
Man, it felt so good, and I could breathe like no problem now.
Is he a chiropractor?
No, he's called the sinus ninja. So he developed this, so he tailored this old ancient Chinese method
Calgon.
of no, but maybe.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Yeah. I think when I think of that, I think more of like, the golden child. Eddie Murphy with
Can I have the amulet?
Yeah.
I want the knife. Please. It never gets old. But no, so my man, he takes like those like the COVID therapeutic swabs, right? But so each one of our nostrils has two like sinus nasal reservoirs of some sort, like a bottom one and a top one. And so what he does is he gives you this mask, he makes you breathe for a little bit, get the antibiotics in there or whatever he uses, and then he takes that off, and then he puts two those swabs up in each one of your nostrils. And he kind of pops those biofilms, and then you sit there for 10 minutes and just let everything drain out.
How much did you get to drain out?
Tons.
Really?
It's so much.
That's so satisfying.
And it's like
a pop.
Yeah, and you can talk about like how like I actually did a podcast with him for my other show. It was fucking super interesting, but how like
cross marketing.
It is, yes, it is. The bubbles on the end of the cotton swabs when you take them out show that there's seasonal allergies. And if there's no bubbles, then it's like maybe an infection of some sort.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, dude, this is fucking brilliant. But yeah, so I got all nose tuned up.
I want to do that.
It's fucking great.
Is he up here?
Yeah, he's over in Belred.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he calls himself the sinus ninja.
I love that.
He's fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
So I started my day off getting my nostrils popped.
Yeah, because I got a deviated septum shit from partying too much in my 20s. So I got all kinds of shit. It gets caught in there.
Yeah, they did warn you about that in Dare.
Yeah.
No, I never got that warning.
Rot out your nostrils.
Yeah, that was kind of one of the ones I did take more seriously, was fucking up your nose.
I remember like the moment I realized it happened. It was I was like sitting on the couch, and I had this big snot thing in my nose, and I was picking at it, and all of a sudden it came out, and I was like, oh, I think I can feel the other end of my finger, and I was like, oh no, and then I put both of my fingers in and I could feel them touch, and I was like, oh no, this is my life now. And it's been like over 10 years, and it really hasn't given me that many issues. It has a little whistle to it sometimes, but other than that, and then just shit getting caught in there, like it's not that big a deal.
I remember my first foray with kind of hearing about that was actually literally when I worked at a record store in 15, and there was a regular. What was his name? I think his name was Dave, and his favorite band was Creedence, and that was the only band he listened to, which is unbelievable. But at the time, like I would just probably like a couple years before that gotten off the I only listen to Metallica thing.
Yeah. How old is he though?
Yeah, exactly. I was 12.
Yeah.
He was 50.
Yeah, there he goes, yeah.
But yeah, he had a fucking glass thing inside his nose because he had fucking worn away so much of that shit that they actually had to build the thing up in there. And I'm just
Mine's not that bad. Mine's like,
that's pretty savage.
Stevie Nicks was talking about how that she was like, her doctor was telling her, like, if you keep doing it, like your nose will just fully collapse. All it took for me was just a little peephole, and I was like, okay, I'm cool to chill out on this for a little bit.
Man. So I never really had a lot of friends or people that I knew that had the cross nostril kind of thing happen.
Yeah.
A lot of more what I saw was the more mouth, like gums and teeth rotting and like stuff like that.
Yeah, I was really lucky with teeth stuff. I was
good radio.
Well,
Hey, man.
I always took
real.
good care of my teeth,
life.
and so I think I started off on a better baseline for teeth than most people did.
Thanks, mom and dad.
Yeah.
That's real talk. That's real talk.
I rocked the braces for a while, but
Yeah.
my teeth are straight.
10 grand.
Yeah.
Now it's a lot easier. You get all that other like Invisalign shit.
Totally. Yeah. Both my kids had braces already.
Sucked.
Yeah. But they're less intrusive than they used to be. I mean, they still can be. But I mean, I remember when I was a kid, like in the 90s, there were still kids that had like the full on headgear.
Oh, well,
like it wasn't as much.
That's also based on like sorry how jacked your smile is.
Oh, totally. But even now, there's better ways to deal with that than there were like back then.
Well, no, it's just so funny, and we've kind of we've probably mentioned this on our podcast.
That's all right.
When you who knows. When you meet someone and they're like, in their mid-30s, early 40s, and they have braces, like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
Yes.
My older brother had braces in his 20s, 30s, early 30s, maybe.
Yeah,
late
it's
20s.
tough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, think about how much it sucked, like, in 6th to 8th grade or whatever, but it's like, at least you're getting out of the way then. And you don't have to,
when everyone else is awkward also.
Of course.
Yeah.
So,
my mom had braces.
That's hindsight now, but it's just also, like, I can just imagine, like, having to go through my 20s, just having to be like, oh fuck! I got like a retainer and shit, and I got a bar, or something. Like really
popping it out to eat some food.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever.
Don't throw that
I got
napkin
drunk
away
at the bar. Yeah, don't throw that away.
Yeah, there's a couple years of family pictures, and my mom had braces when I was like in kindergarten, so she was probably 30, maybe a little, maybe late 20s.
Yeah,
but like like in my brain when she got braces when I was a kid, I thought they were cool because I wanted braces because all the high schoolers had braces. So for me, it was like a
rite of passage.
Yeah,
almost,
exactly. And then looking back on it now, I'm like, oh man, she had braces when she was so much older.
I think now also it's significantly cheaper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about, I went to some fucking swanky tank office and shit.
It was like
of course,
second mortgage back in the day.
Yeah,
of course, fuck this is. I had she was exceptionally nice, but she was the older assistant. My brother had the up and comer, newer chick who was slightly. I'll just say I found my brother's whatever the fuck braces.
Dental
chick.
hygienist.
See, it's not that because it's something else.
Okay.
I mean, I think they do that, but it's mainly they're fucking putting weird,
doing the tweaking and all that
fucking
shit.
tweaky shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, my brother's one was hotter.
Yeah. I still remember the name of my orthodontist. Her name was Dr. Roxanavis. And she scared the living shit out of me because she was just this really she was very kind, but she had this very intense, no nonsense energy. And as a child, I didn't know what to do with that. So every time I walked in the office, I was like, I love Dr. Roxanavis. And she would just throw shade so effortlessly. And she would just give you shit about not flossing and stuff. And she just would terrify me into taking care of my teeth. So she did her job.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Thanks, Dr. Roxanavis. And then I babysat her kids.
British Smiles on The Simpsons when Ralph's do you breath? How many times a day do you? 9 times a day, sir. The big book of British Smiles.
Did you hear that Creed's doing a reunion tour?
Yes! I thought I sent it to both of you. Did I not?
You might have. That might have been
I might have sent it to you.
Yeah, so I did hear about that. It's funny. I think I saw
we
some
have to
shit
go,
on Reddit
you guys.
about it. And people were like, see, I would much rather, honestly, see him at the side stage at a festival, in the middle of the day, time slot like that, than paying what they're doing. And, hey, fucking make your money.
I want to see him at the Puyallup State Fair.
As you guys know, I fucking saw them at their zenith. Granted,
I've seen them at their
but see, that being
90s.
said, I actually didn't because that whole bullshit with me missing 7 Dust is because Scott Stapp was sick. That probably means he was all fucked up and shit cannot go on stage. Fucked up.
Feeling under the weather.
Did you ever listen to the Marlins song yet?
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
I was about to say, I wonder if that was his low point.
Stolen base.
I hope they open with that. I have to close with that.
No shit.
God. They have to know that
I already did my Scott
Stapp
thing. I already did my Scott Stapp thing on my podcast, didn't I? Where I talked about he had that when Passion of the Christ came out, he did. I think he may have had a song. I don't think he had a song. I've never seen that fucking movie. And from what I understand, it probably didn't have Creed on it.
You know what? It would have changed the vibe a bit. If it had, I would have liked it.
It had a song. He had a fucking album that was songs inspired by the movie Passion of the Christ. So it's like, holy shit, this movie is so good. It's going to make me write an album about God.
What?
Yeah, it was really bad. Really funny. Really, basically like that Marlon song. Except God.
But God.
So replace like a stolen God with like a stolen faith or a stolen base or whatever. Yeah.
Wow.
No shit, I'm putting that together. But
Inspiration comes from all places.
God, I bet you that's pretty cheap online.
Yeah.
Oh,
we should
my
find
God.
that.
Yeah.
God, I guess everybody pivots, huh?
That's not streaming. I did try to find that.
Oh shit! I was just gonna say we could have done listening party.
That's not on Spotify. I did look at Scott Stapp's Spotify to see if the songs inspired by the Passion of the Christ CD, because I Relearn Love is the track you want to fucking hear for what it's worth.
Is it on YouTube?
I
It's
yeah, I
gotta be on
guarantee it,
YouTube.
dude. There's a guy taking a shit listening to it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, you felt the need to get the reaction video on the toilet. Okay, cool.
Hey man, you gotta fucking get that
Hey
in there.
man,
wherever
clicks,
you
bro. Clicks.
Okay, a little while ago we did an episode on the Mandela effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw a new one and I'm really upset because one, I don't like Christmas music, so it shouldn't really matter, but it fucking sucks. So, I'll Be Home for Christmas, the song.
Yeah.
It's like from, I think the 40s maybe. So it's I'll Be Home for Christmas. You can.
I don't know.
I'll be home for Christmas. Why can't I think of it?
I don't fucking.
I always thought it was You Can Count on Me. You can count
on me. Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's You Can Plan on Me.
No, it's not.
It's changed on
No,
all
it's
the
not.
platforms.
No, it's not.
The video I watched, the guy was playing it on vinyl.
No, it's not.
It's now You Can Plan on Me.
It's not.
It's
I don't actually.
I'm so infuriated.
Oh, is this like
You
that
Can Count on
Berenstein Bears thing? Is
Yeah,
that what we're
totally.
talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
On me.
So like, I don't even fucking know that shit. Like, I know.
That's okay. I mean, they're not going to touch everybody, but the reason why I'm upset is because
No, I'm just saying I don't really. I know I've only heard the first part of that song.
Yeah.
And then I immediately went to the All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pull up the Amy Grant version
Oh,
because Amy Grant might
God,
have
formative
kept it.
years. Formative years.
The
seeing
Amy Grant
CD
Christmas album is bar none best Christmas album of all time.
Okay, so I'm gonna push back. There was a late comedian by the name of Blowfly who did Blowfly Does Triple Xmas. That came out about 25 years ago.
Okay, well,
I was fortunate enough to see this sage artist at what is now the El Corazon. There was about me and let's say 20 to 30 other enlightened gentlemen. No women, mind you, at this show. But yeah, Blowfly, you gotta look that.
Blowfly. Okay, well, I wasn't aware of that, so that might change. But let me. Okay, so there is
Not radio.
there is
Amy Grant.
Whichever one you want to pick. My favorite Christmas album growing up was the Oak Ridge Boys.
See, fuck, dude, that is just so
really old school, man. My mom just like
See,
used to
I
blast
never.
that
My
shit.
dad hated all that shit, and my mom would decorate the house and still like decorates the house with all that same shit, and that's great. I actually do get some nostalgia seeing that.
Yeah.
I'm in an internet vortex over here. I can't pull anything up.
But no, I gotta really think about that. The best Christmas album. I mean, truth be told, I mean, all that shit sucks, right? Like we can agree on that. It's base level. You're not gonna. We'll joke about Amy Grant, but we're not actually gonna like listen to that.
I don't. So the only time I'll ever put on Christmas music is during Christmas time, right? And it's usually somebody else is putting it on, and I'm just in there absorbing Christmas music.
I'll steer it to McCartney and the other fucking smashes.
But it's not something that like I know people that listen to Christmas music like in June.
Oh yeah, it's fucked up.
And,
it's fucked
and that's like, man, okay,
like,
everybody's got a thing.
After this day, that you get in my car, you're
I'm
fucking
still
here.
in spooky season
Good for you.
vibes now. Like I usually kind of try to stay until about Thanksgiving, and then I'm like, all right, I'll succumb to the Christmas stuff.
I used to listen to
but the
Chipmunks.
fall
Chipmunks
colors-
Christmas was the one that
Oh,
I
that's a
actually.
good
That was
one.
the only one that I actually listened to.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was good. Yeah.
But yeah, would you actually, would you just like put on?
Oh yeah. Yeah, while I'm cleaning or something in the house. Yeah,
Really?
I like winter and Christmas. I enjoy Christmas.
So shit, I'm all
I don't
Scrooge
like
McDuckin over here.
Well, I don't like I like the feeling of Christmas. I don't. It's very triggering holiday stuff for me and
Okay,
family
yeah,
stuff. That's
yeah.
not my favorite stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like I like how it feels outside. I like the energy outside. People are nicer. Like it's
In our industry, do you think that's the case?
over the holidays.
Yeah.
No,
It's tough.
no.
So
I won't say they're meaner. I would
No.
definitely say they're more demanding, and then
Yes.
there are a few. It's like, hey, thank you so much. It's like and I'm not gonna shit on holiday tips because to be honest, have not bah humbug, haven't received a lot of them in my
Yeah.
long years.
right.
But a lot of times it's just like, I've waited on you like probably 200 times this year.
Yeah.
So like this, you're literally talking about an extra $11 or something right here, and it's like, no, thank you. You didn't have to do that, but it's like we're probably looking at about 25 cents a visit.
Yeah, right, yeah.
like
If we round it up. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's more of like the energy of the holidays I enjoy. I like the stuff on TV. I like the movies. I like the cold weather. I like the dark. I like the winter feel, but I don't like holiday activities.
Yeah. I got to say, I'm starting to come around to like the idea of Christmas.
you were
and
still are a curmudgeon about a lot of that shit.
But I've had a lot of time to take a look at that.
Yeah.
Now that I'm not, especially, and I think part of it is now that I'm not in the industry. Because to your point is like having to deal with the brunt of like the expectations people have when they go out and the frustrations they're trying to release and the amount of alcohol and intoxication that happens.
And their own family triggers. They're all
Totally,
pissed off.
you
They
know,
bring in some fucking grandmother. It's like, great, now she's on 11 because she's got someone here from Idaho. It's like, I don't fucking care. This is like your problem, not mine. You're also... This is not a towel over the arm place I work at, people.
Totally.
Like I had a woman one time during Christmas, and I'm not going to say that she didn't deserve to be upset, and because we fucked up her food and experienced a mistake when I was working at the theater. But I think this adds to the reason why I was so jaded for so long, and when I think about all this shit. But like this woman came out clearly intoxicated, and again we forgot her food, and it was working in the cinema, so we're still working out the kinks.
Yeah.
And it was at Christmas time. And she comes out and she's just fucking pissed. And I hear her berating one of the staff members, and I'm right around the corner. So I'm like, come around the corner and go out there. I'm the GM. So I'm like, hey, what's going on? And she just starts to just let me have it. And just like, she's screaming at me and experience ruined and boyfriend this and movie that and all this stuff. And I'm like, hey, look, get it and understand. I'm so sorry. I'm going to give you... comp your food. I'm gonna give you new tickets to come back. Basically bend over backwards because it's the right thing to do, right?
Yeah,
we fucked your shit up, right?
Yeah.
I got you, right? And I have no problem doing that. We have budgets built in for that, right?
And that can be the end of it.
It could have been the end of it, right?
That's what people don't understand.
And then this woman pulls out her cell phone and hits record, and she goes, "I don't believe you. Tell me into my phone so I have your recording that you're." I'm like, until you get that phone out of my face, I'm not saying another word.
That is...
And so she put her phone away, and I'm like, I'm going to ask you to leave now. All the things that I just gave you are still for you, but take them and leave now, and this is done. We are finished. If you do not trust me, here's my corporate number, blah, 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 all that bullshit, right? But it's like, dude, get your fucking phone out of my face. I'm not going viral because you're being a cunt right now.
Honestly, and again, by no means, that chick was ahead of her time.
I was just going to say, recording a phone, and what year was this?
Like 8, 9.
On her Razor?
Yeah,
recording it on her Razor phone? Good luck.
God, those are so cool.
I was infuriated, man.
Still just a classic 90s kid. I'm like, oh, those are so cool. I have the newest iPhone. I'm just like, oh, Razor would be the shit.
Have you seen the new Razors?
Well, I know they came out with it, but it's still...
I've seen a couple of people have them.
I would do it if I didn't have to learn a new fucking thing.
It's an Android
I've been
instead.
using iPhones too long.
Yeah.
And everyone tells me they're the best, and
I think they are too, yeah. All right, but staying with Christmas, though. So,
Hans Gruber was what I was thinking.
Okay, well, Hans Gruber's a great one. Yep, totally. Die Hard, right? The future Snape.
What?
The future Snape.
The future Snape.
Oh, yeah. So what's funny about that
he passed away recently.
That, from everything I read about Alan Rickman was that obviously he was a peach of a man, which I think is a good thing. But he did not really appreciate like a lot of the people's nostalgia and fucking like fanfare for Hans Gruber and stuff. That was like a role that he did and stuff, but he was just like, yeah, that was,
not proud of it kind of
I
thing.
guess, I mean, again,
he's done so much great things.
Yeah, he's
Exactly.
like, that's it.
And that's kind of where I guess I mean, again, I wasn't a Harry Potter guy, so I wasn't down with that. But yeah, wasn't he casting a spell in that first movie during that Quidditch game though to counteract that other motherfucker's spell?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
That dude,
he's
I'm
been on
amazed.
Harry's side since
I was
day one.
stoned as shit when I watched that back in 1999 or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm amazed I remember that.
Here's the thing.
movie.
This segues perfectly into what we were going to talk about. Snape is one of the best villains that has ever existed. And I know everyone has their feelings about J.K. Rowling. I have my own as well. But that character, the way it's written, his complete story arc is one of the best fucking villains.
Agreed.
To have ever been written.
You know, I can't really, because I was kind of thinking about this on the way in and kind of how people, I was thinking about a song called Rooting for the Bad Guy where they listen to a lot of fucking bad guys. I'm like, a lot of people root for those dudes. Tony Montana, Scarface, terrible fucking human being.
Right.
Yeah,
a lot of people,
totally.
I mean, obviously there's the subculture with that, but like, a lot of people just fucking love that guy.
It's true.
And he's literally one of the shittiest human beings for 3 hours of an entertaining movie. Extremely violent, but like...
Right. Well, and the villains that I like to watch are the ones like Snape or like that have some kind of shred of humanity or you can see a motivation for their badness that is coming from a human,
Bodhi
right?
On
Point Break, exactly.
God, that movie's so good. I rewatched that last week.
But like, there's no redeeming qualities about a character like Tony Montana.
No.
Tony Montana.
Yeah.
And so
good save.
I don't know what makes a good villain versus what makes someone who's just a bad guy. And why do some people gravitate towards characters like Tony, and why, like, what is it about that character? Is it just the...
Well, I think so. So let's take somebody that like Tony Montana, right? You can see that person as an empowering person, right? You've got power, you've got status, you can do shit, right?
And
came
from nothing,
exactly,
man,
you know. And so if you've been disempowered your entire life, you can look at that. But I think a lot of it too, and to the like Bodhi's example is like you can see the reason why they've done what they've done,
exactly,
and you can almost empathize with it, right? It's like Michael Douglas in Falling Down. Like at like half the movie, I'm like, man, I'm fucking pissed for you, dude.
Don't necessarily really. Yeah, again, so would you put? That's not your classic villain.
No, not
Michael
at all.
Douglas.
But he could be seen as it.
Movie.
You know.
Yeah,
but
you can like not you cannot agree with how they're choosing to act, but you can like I get it.
I don't want to give away too much of that movie, but I don't think he killed anybody in that movie.
No, he just fucked a bunch of people.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely did some not cool shit.
Right.
But wow, Falling Down. So Snape would be a villain.
Because
we were supposed to talk about villains. So fucking 25 minutes. It's like
fucking
podcast
villains.
about villains, yo.
Well, I got Harry and Marv from Home Alone.
I fucking also thought about that. That is wild that you brought that up. That was on my fucking list of some of my favorite villains.
We're not the wet bandits anymore with this sticky
both
bandits.
Like amazing actors. Like it could be like what could be considered their primes.
Yeah.
And they took this type of a role in a kids movie.
Okay,
took its chance because I've watched the background of like how it's made, like the Home Alone movie.
Admittedly, I'd say that's more of a leap for Joe Pesci than fucking Daniel Stern.
Yeah, well, I'll give you
sure.
that.
That's his wheelhouse.
Definitely
an Oscar in Goodfellas, where he literally
didn't need it.
Yeah, no, but he just like goes to dinner with his mom. He's like, "Mom, I'm gonna take this knife. I'm gonna bring you back this knife later and shit." Fuck. But Daniel Stern was the narrator on Wonder Years.
Was he really?
Yeah, he's the narrator.
Damn.
He's the voice on the original Wonder Years, but also he directed Rookie of the Year. I mean, that would have been after Home Alone.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's been definitely more skewed.
Daniel Stern was a huge part of my growing up because it was Bushwhacked.
I never saw that. I never saw Bushwhacked.
Fucking Home Alone 1 and 2.
what else?
Also, City
Slickers.
Slickers.
I love
You
those
gotta suck
movies.
the poison
Yeah,
out.
you gotta
I
go
watched those
hard.
recently.
Yeah, he was.
both
I
of
mean, he
them.
was
Fucking
everywhere
City
growing up.
Slickers.
Fuck, I forgot he was in those.
Yeah.
Daniel Stern. Yeah, I saw those shits in the theater.
Dude, fucking yeah, I love those movies.
Home
man.
Alone.
That
That's
is
a
so
great
funny you
pull.
brought those
Great
up.
pull.
One that Mon gave me last night was Shooter McGavin.
Oh,
Like pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
shooter. Yes.
Oh, well, if we go down that, then you gotta go Bill Murray on Kingpin. Fucking
Oh god, that's such a
Ernie,
disgusting
or
movie.
Bigger and McCracken. Just a heck of a nice guy.
God damn, man. I remember just being so grossed out by that movie. Loved it, but like when he milks the cow, the male cow, and
I don't think I've ever seen Kingpin.
Kingpin's
Kingpin?
fucking
Oh,
funny.
man.
That shit. Well, I mean, again, you got to be down with Farrelly Brothers. So
Oh,
did
yeah,
you
yeah,
like?
yeah.
Did
Oh,
you
yeah.
like? There's something about Mary. There's probably about half of that.
Dumb and
movie
Dumber is
became
one of my
laugh.
favorite movies of all time.
That one has that. That one's. I haven't rewatched that in a while. Is that quote
I
okay?
don't know if I have actually.
What, Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah.
Oh, I've
Dumb and
rewatched
Dumber, I
it recently.
definitely
Yeah,
watched
yeah,
that.
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
but it's, you understand the question? Is that quote like okay?
Yeah, no, it there's
It holds up. I mean,
Well,
there's.
we talked about
90s.
Ace Ventura at the end of Ace Ventura, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't fucking really even understand that.
Yeah,
but now that's
yeah,
kind of more
yeah.
of a, you know.
Yeah, I don't think there were any like cross the line jokes that
Yeah.
might be construed
Did
now
you?
as.
I had a coworker
off-color.
tried to rewatch The Mask, and he's just like, I fucking couldn't do it.
Oh, we watched it. Yeah,
Oh,
we watched it with Harper. I loved it, man.
Fucking Mask.
The
I
fucking
love
the
watching
Copacabana, you know, and then they had
Can't do
the Maraca scene.
Can't do
Oh,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Can't
yeah.
do it. Can't do it with the cops and shit.
Yeah, man.
with the
Oh,
cops.
yeah.
I literally can't fucking fast forward that shit in my mind fast enough because, of course, you know I can do probably about half of it right now.
Yeah,
and I'm
oh, yeah.
not going to.
Yeah.
I fucking don't like
I
that.
still, and maybe so maybe. Well, I can't say that because we watched it. Mon and I watched it before we watched it with Harper. So I was gonna say maybe watching it with my kid like gave me an opportunity to see it as a kid again.
Right, yeah.
But no, Mon and I watched it like 5 or 6 years ago, and we still laughed our asses
yeah.
off with it. So.
I like the Mask.
But to be fair, I'm easily entertained. I mean, there are definitely movies that I've seen recently, like
I mean,
Mallrats,
says the
where I'm
man
like,
who
I
watches
can't-
down Periscope
I was just
multiple
gonna say
times.
you proved me
Yeah.
wrong about down Periscope.
Easily
Now, I mean,
entertained.
now again, I got a lot of shit that I don't watch, don't play, and just collects dust. So I get it. But you were pretty adamant about owning fucking down Periscope.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Digitally.
Yep.
Not tangible.
Justified purchase.
Fucking A. Checkmate, Robin. Moving on. Great villain, fucking Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
You know, that inspired Dennis Rodman to start dyeing his hair.
I'll be damned.
Is that really?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, thanks,
Wow.
Wesley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wesley should have paid taxes on that before serving several. I think he served like several fucking years. I was talking about this on my
Damn.
guys' trip a couple weeks ago, literally a couple days ago. It's like, first of all, celebrities don't really go to jail, and they definitely don't go to jail for like white collar crime.
No.
So it's like, whoa, dude, you must have really pissed off the Fed for them to be like, yeah, you're gonna need to serve some time in jail. You're inmate 57 now.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, I forgot he went to jail for that.
I did too.
That
Dude,
was
Passenger 57 was fucking rad, but he was a good guy in that.
Yeah, that was a good movie. I did like Wesley Snipes, fucking
I saw the first two. I think I saw 3 Blades. First Blade was the shit.
I definitely saw the first one. I don't know if I followed up with the other two, but I definitely saw the first
The
one.
first one's great.
Yeah, fucking love
The
it.
second one I think is pretty good too.
Well, all right, what about this bad guy? Fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 1.
Okay.
And then like full circle Terminator
Terminator
2.
To be the the protagonist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking good. That's good writing right there.
Hey,
who was
this just
considering-
in. That billionaire James Cameron can write a fucking movie.
Well, okay, so I watched the documentary on the first one, and apparently they shot that all like low budget guerrilla style. They didn't have permits or nothing.
Yeah, that's why it's
They would-
always filmed at night and shit.
Exactly. They just roll up to places, shoot the scene real quick, and then like maybe do a second take and then run off. So it was like it's surprising it's as good as it is.
That movie's a shit.
I fucking love that movie, yeah. But okay, so what about comedic bad guys? Dark Helmet from
Oh,
Spaceballs.
Fucking Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
Wasn't he always getting stuck in
He's
hallways?
always just, and they had different types of helmets. You had the safari helmet.
Just having baby face Rick Moranis as an evil man is like it's perfect casting.
Oh my god, I love
Also,
that movie.
Ben Stiller does great villains. So like
Yeah,
the
he
dodgeball
does.
villain,
Yeah.
even
I never saw Dodgeball, but Heavyweights.
you never saw dodgeball. Oh, he's great in
Heavyweights
fucking
was great.
heavyweights.
Yeah,
Heavyweights.
Heavyweights was
Today's
great.
You can't
activities
be
were
canceled due to lack
Like
of hustle.
He's like, come here, don't you want this delicious Hershey
It's
Kiss? It's
so-
like totally made out of like fucking. He's just like, here you are. God. I saw that shit in the theater too.
I did too.
God, the 90s.
I
were
think
the
you'd
best.
really like Dodgeball. That's a good one.
Yeah, I've
can't
seen.
believe you
I've
watched
seen like
Dodgeball.
I've seen like snippets and
It's
stuff. But
very
see, that's the
dumb.
thing is a lot of people really like enjoy that one. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna fucking watch it. I'm not gonna like watch the second half of it.
Yeah.
Which has been my opportunity to see about 90% of these movies that you guys like have tattoos about.
Yeah, yeah. I hadn't seen Tropic Thunder since it came out, and it was on
I
Hulu, and I
love that
rewatched
movie.
it recently, and I was like, this is
Still
good.
probably
Still
one of
good.
the best.
Yeah. It's
Probably
pretty-
definitely one of my all-time
Just
favorites.
Yeah.
Jack Black trying to do heroin in the plants, and then someone comes up behind him and hey, he's so good in that. Oh my
The
god!
the bat steals his drugs. And he's
Yeah,
like, oh,
the
you
bat,
OD'd, and he
No,
starts like,
God,
starts
he's
sucking
so
the blood
good
of the
at it.
bat.
I love it
Oh
so
my
much.
god! When that movie came out, I was working at the movie theater, and we had just switched over to digital.
Holy shit, that
and
movie's funny.
and I would get off work at like 11:30 somewhere in there, and I was single. I'm recently single at the time, so I didn't have anything else to do. So I'd look for whatever cinema didn't have any sales to it, and then I would just turn the movie off, and I would put on Tropic Thunder and sit there by myself at the remote and just sit
Hell
there and watch
yes.
the movie theater. I watched that movie so many times; it
Oh
was
my
great.
god!
It was very
Which one of you is a
therapeutic.
grip?
Yeah.
Punch that guy in the face really fucking hard. And
It
you
took
guys
me
like,
forever to
sorry,
realize.
man.
It took me forever to realize that was Tom Cruise.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
So many-
I
such
couldn't
a
believe
good
you did
makeup
that
job.
movie too.
One of my
At the bottom jeans.
underappreciated scenes is Matthew McConaughey's talking about. He's talking to Tug
so
Speedman about adopting a kid. He's like, at least you get to pick yours. I'm stuck with mine. It just shows that like.
Just at the moment of silence of him looking at the picture.
Looking at the photo of his son. His son's just frowning there.
There's so much comedy in that movie, man.
So good.
Fucking hell.
Another amazing comedic villain, probably my favorite of all time, obviously, is Debbie Jelinski from Addams Family Values. Joan Cusack.
Joan Cusack.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's probably
I haven't
Oh,
se-
that's a
I
good
that's
haven't
probably
s-
one of the best
Is the second?
villains
Is that
of
the
all
one where
time.
they go to summer camp or
Yep.
some
Yeah.
shit? God,
Yep.
I haven't seen that. I think I saw
It's
that once.
the best one.
Yeah.
Because
Really?
it's a different
That one a lot.
writer and a different director than the first one.
Yeah.
So it's written as like a comedy rather than it plays to a different audience than the first one does.
Totally.
It's so much
So that's a
better.
rare sequel that's better than the original.
1,000%. Yeah.
Really?
Addams Family Values.
Still
is
like the
way
first
better.
one, but the
those,
second one.
I
think
would need to
is a
dust
lot-
off the
lot
laser
better.
discs on those fuckers. I
Yeah.
haven't seen either of those in a grip.
Yeah, but Joan Cusack steals that movie. That
She's
is
so
that is
good in
her
that
movie.
Totally. Did you guys watch the Wednesday reboot? Or the,
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Ah, it's good. I like that.
I liked it too. I think it got canceled.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think season 2 got canceled
Fuck.
because the writer's strike.
Writer strike. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. What about Dr. Evil?
Oh
It's one of my
yeah, because I
favorite
love it
I
because it's
really
based
enjoy-
on
I-
Lorne Michaels in real life.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Is it
yeah.
really?
Yes.
Oh, good.
So Mike Myers
Fuck, I
fucking
didn't know
wrote
that.
Dr. Evil based off of Lorne Michaels, which
That's
makes it
so
even
good.
better.
Oh my god, I had no idea about that.
Yeah. He's got his
still haven't
voice. That's his voice.
I still haven't seen the. I haven't seen the
I wish-
third one.
We'd wear meat helmets and do luge.
I've seen them all. I like the Austin Powers movies. Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen them. I did watch them
First
multiple
one was
times.
really good. I rewatched the first one like a year ago, and it was like holy shit. And there was also some jokes I didn't get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Like,
I mean,
oh,
Will
that's-
Ferrell's character, I think he's in the second one.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
the
Fast
fast
and
food
Furious.
Yeah, she's just down there.
Yeah, very badly burned.
Oh, wait, I think I can stand up.
No! Seem to have broken the other leg. Yeah, it's so good.
Oh my god.
Dr. Evil, good one.
Yeah, he's fucking great, man. Well, that whole like evil staff is pretty great.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, and what's her name?
Fraulein.
Fraulein. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's great too.
God damn. Yeah, there's some good shit there.
Yeah. Villains that you hate versus villains that you love to hate.
Oh, well, like the
Like
easy one is
Joffrey.
like Joffrey.
Literally Joffrey.
Oh my
Joffrey was
God.
just like...
But on the very next, I love Cersei. And they're both
Right.
evil, but I love to hate Cersei, and I just
wasn't-
fucking
yeah,
hated
I
Joffrey.
wasn't
Yeah.
the biggest fan, you know, all that brother fucking in the start. Was
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
tough for me to, you know. It was tough for me. I'm sure there's a different term for that, but let's call it what
Call
it
a
is.
spade a spade. Yeah.
God.
Yeah, or like Meryl Streep in Devil Wears Prada. Like if she was your
yeah.
actual
Never saw
boss,
that, never
Yeah.
you
saw
would
that.
want her lit on fire in front of
Totally.
you so you could watch the pain happen. But
what would
watching her play that character, you're just like, why is no one ready?
Yeah.
Just perfect.
What's his name? Bradley Cooper did that in a recent movie about a chef, where he played like some really fucking dickish chef.
Oh,
that
asshole
was
chef.
Super fucking such an asshole.
Yeah.
But like you really love to hate him, but you also want him to succeed.
Mm-hmm. You're right,
You,
yeah.
You can see that he's like dealing with his own demons, but at the same time, it's like, dude, fucking find a better way, bro.
Yeah, I was trying to find like villains that I actually can't watch, or their careers have been ruined. Like Joffrey can't work.
Yeah.
That actor
Yeah,
is
no,
is
he's-
nothing other than Joffrey,
Yeah.
and he did his job so well that people really hated him in real life,
Yeah.
and he can't get a job.
Yeah.
And there are other
Jack,
parts
whatever
like
the
that.
fuck his name is, yeah, that's who it is.
Oh, that's his real name.
I
Yeah,
don't think
poor
that's,
Jack.
I don't think he bubbles in with a W, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
starts
yeah,
W-H-A.
Jack. Whatchamacallit?
God.
Well, there are a lot of typecasted like bad guys, especially in the '90s.
Oh, Bolo Hyung did a shitload of action movies. He did Enter the Dragon. He was the bad guy in Enter the Dragon. Then he was the bad guy in Bloodsport. I mean, two just canon martial arts movies.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
right,
that
guy.
great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Let's talk about that for fucking 40 minutes.
But even like, I thought it was interesting how somebody like Robin Williams switched to doing bad guy characters in his
Oh
movies
God, that's
towards
right.
his later
The
career.
1 hour photo.
Yeah,
That
he did like
was
2 or
about
3
that
of them.
Fucking
You know?
weird one.
Yeah.
Insomnia, too. He was,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was
Yep.
kind of a clunker of a Nolan flick.
Yeah.
But yeah, 1 hour photo. Yeah, I saw that and I was just like, what in the flying fuck was that?
Yeah,
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 it was
dork.
strange, and I think it's strange when you have like your typical good guy do a bad guy role.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
I think that was kind of the point, and I think at the time I was like, oh, we're going to see it's the Robin Williams bad guy movie. But
Yeah.
you guys all saw that.
I saw it. Maybe
Yeah.
So what was
I
the,
definitely
was
saw
the
it
end
once.
of that? Like he was like forcing like the cheating husband to like take photos or some shit.
It's honestly
man.
been forever since
I
I've watched it. I
couldn't
can't
tell
even
It
think
was
about it.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
And it was just like
There was like a cabin involved, right?
Yeah, I just remember him being just very
Foggy
creepy.
cabin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot about it. I watched it once and I was like, okay,
Yeah, I'm
did that.
cool. Not
Now I
All
gotta
buying
do
set.
that
that
again.
on DVD.
Let's go watch Hook.
Yeah, yeah. Palate cleanser.
Well, actually, there you go.
Dustin
Yeah,
Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman and Hook. That was a great.
Boo boo
Schmee.
Or even
box.
Hook just in
Schmee.
general.
Yeah.
You know,
Schmee.
Captain Hook's a great like reoccurring bad guy that
Yeah.
just like keeps
Bad
being-
form.
Bob Hoskins and Dustin Hoffman
Yeah.
and Hook.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we mentioned this, you mentioned this, Kinsey, a while back, but how they wrote Dustin Hoffman's character with Shmi a little more homosexual
Yeah.
in Hook.
Yeah.
And you can tell there's like that like spark, you know,
Uh-huh.
that little chemistry
There's a little
there.
something under the surface there. Yeah.
Little Xena Gabrielle. You
Didn't they have to
see it.
tell them to stop doing that? Like,
You should like tone it down, guys.
Tone it down,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're still PG, okay? I know. And then Glenn Close having her boo boo box. Boo boo box, not the boo boo box.
God, Hook.
I love
Couldn't
Hook.
do it.
Yeah.
Rewatched that one. Tried. Set design, beautiful. Actors did a great job. Spielberg, not a big fan of his dad. Get
Yeah.
it? Can't do Hook. Can't do it.
Yeah. It's
I
a
dug
lot.
it.
It's
I dug
it's
When was the last? Like, you got kids. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Fuck.
It's different.
Yeah, again, like when I watch these movies again, there's that guise of like watching it through their eyes. So I'm like, oh, this is exciting again.
In your eyes.
Your eyes.
The night, the heat.
Oh, thank you. Actually fucking knew it. I didn't know what he said. I thought he said D.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, no, it's just the bass line for it. Okay, well, who's your favorite Joker?
Oh.
Jack Nicholson.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say Jim Carrey, but he was the Riddler.
That's a whole good group of bad guys like that.
I
that-
really liked
Wasn't
that
Tommy Lee
Tim
Jones.
Burton era of not Tim Burton, or was it Tim Burton?
I know he did the.
He did
He
the,
did the
80s,
first two.
the
He
Michael
did
Keaton
Batman.
ones.
He did Batman and Batman Returns.
Right. But the Val Kilmer, George Clooney era of
Yeah.
Batman movies, I unironically do like those movies.
Yeah.
I think, oh God.
I enjoyed
Joker.
the Batman Forever. Like that wasn't
Yes!
too campy. I mean, the one after that, I saw that one too, and it
Yeah.
didn't.
Batman Forever is with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Uma Thurman, right?
No, so that's Batman and Robin. Batman Forever is
Oh,
Val
that's with-
Kilmer. Val Kilmer, and then Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. and all
Two-Face,
that
yeah,
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
right,
one's
yeah.
great. I
that
love
one.
them
Yeah,
all.
Totally.
And once you kind of accept that, like, they're written like a comic, or they're shot like a comic book, then you're like, oh, that's why it feels campy, and yeah, I love it.
I'm surprised you're not coming here with Cesar Romero from the fucking Batman shit. Like, yeah. Oh, that was my favorite. Was Cesar Romero, the Adam West Batman.
Yeah, no, not at all.
He was like, woo, woo.
Yeah,
That was like all I know he did.
I love that guy.
The fucking Riddler on the Batman TV show was like so fucking funny. It was just a guy with like an off-green, like long sleeve off-green shirt with long, like green tights.
Yeah.
And then the like off pink eye band.
Have you seen the new Flash?
I
the new one?
loved it.
How they wove it in the
I
Batman
loved that new
line?
Flash.
That was really good. I like that a lot.
Oh,
Skeletor
it was so good.
on Masters of the Universe with Frank Langella.
I don't remember the live action one.
With Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't remember
Fuck,
that
I've
one.
seen
Live
that
action?
shit so many times.
I
So
remember
many
watching it
fucking
as a
times.
kid, but I don't.
I have the
haven't-
power.
Yeah. Do you though, Dolph?
Dude, that guy's got an amazing life. He's got several amazing like postgraduate degrees.
Yeah,
Dolph Lundgren's like a fucking rocket scientist or some shit.
and awesome bad guy.
Yeah,
great
Rocky
bad guy.
4.
Yeah.
Rocky 4 and fucking Universal Soldier.
Oh, Universal Soldier. I don't.
Van Damme, come on,
Yeah,
man! I
totally,
just
yeah,
dust
yeah,
off.
yeah.
Why don't we just do a podcast on Van
Yeah,
Damme?
Van
Which
Damme.
will just be me talking. Oh, did you guys see this? No. Oh, did you guys see this? No.
I wasn't that big of a Van Damme guy growing up.
You were Seagal guy.
Not really
He's
both.
Team
you know?
Seagal. Team
Seagal.
Seagal. Yeah, dude,
I think I told you this last week when we saw each other, but I was watching some little documentary about Hollywood movie producers.
Oh yeah, I can
And
make it.
I can't remember the guy's name, but he was like the guy. He was like the movie producer and like talent agent of that time, like in the 80s. And he just made like millions and millions of dollars. And him and two other very well known music or movie producers were sitting around, and they basically made a bet to see who could make the most untalented person, the unlikable person, the most talented person, just to see if they could do it. And that was Steven Seagal for one of those guys. And because he's such a disgusing human being, apparently.
He is.
I don't know that much about him,
awful.
but yeah, from what I've heard,
Under
he's
Siege.
awful.
Under Siege was the shit. Like I will defend that one. Oh, bad guy in that fucking Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, he
Tommy
does
Lee
a
Jones
great
and
bad
Gary
guy.
Busey were the bad guys in
Gary
that.
Busey. God.
Yeah.
Gary Busey was the shit. in
Fucking
that.
great bad guy.
Dude, what an ensemble cast. You got the
I
Buse.
will go to.
That was while he was still like,
Garbu.
before he was severely affected by the drugs he was doing.
Yeah.
Still doing the drugs he was doing,
Yeah,
but just not as
probably.
badly affected.
Yeah, it's
I like butter. God, that's one of my favorite sound bites from him.
Butter.
He's got this whole thing. He's doing an interview with this guy, and the guy asked him this question about just one of the movies he's done, and he's like, "Yeah, I like butter, butter toast, butter bacon. Put butter on your toes. Put butter on your belt. I like butter." That's like,
I love him
oh,
so
okay,
much.
wow, all right, well that's an answer.
Oh, remember him in fucking Black Sheep? He was in Black
Oh
Sheep.
my God,
He
yeah.
was a bad guy
he was
in
the-
that.
Yeah, he was. He was a
Yeah.
bad guy in Black Sheep.
the bad guy.
in
Well, he
Black
wasn't.
Sheep.
Well, I mean,
Well, he
actually,
was-
the bad guy was the female politician
Right,
running against Tim
yeah,
Matheson.
as always. Tim Matheson, also great. He's got a couple good villains, doesn't he?
He was the bad guy on Burn Notice.
Fucking
Dude,
Burn
dust
Notice.
off Burn Notice. It's like, have you seen this? No, I've seen a lot of Van Damme and Burn Notice, so I'm obviously fucking kicking ass at life. Jesus, God, drinking Robin kicked ass.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
I like Bird Notice, man. I like
Bird
that.
Notice.
I haven't revisited that, but I went through
Exactly.
a little.
So you're gonna-
I went through a run of Bird Notice. For a
Bird
while.
Notice.
What about Shere Khan
Who the fuck is that?
from the Jungle Book? The tiger.
Oh.
Remember that guy?
Dude,
Yeah.
I haven't
He's
seen
kind of.
Jungle
He's
Book.
kind of.
I remember the boa
Are
constrictor.
we talking about?
that
the
was
live
it.
action Jungle Book with the guy who
Oh.
played?
It could be that
Oh.
one. It could be that one. But
I never
I was
actually
thinking
saw
more
that.
of the cartoon one. The cartoon one was the classic. But yeah, the snake.
I
was,
loved the Robin Hood animated with the fox and all the animals.
Yeah.
The
Yes,
king
the
and
king.
that
Yeah.
is the big baby. Great villain. Great fucking villain.
Oh my god.
So good.
Yeah, we've revisited that one recently. That's pretty damn good. Beetlejuice, since we just
He's a bad guy.
went
Yeah,
by
that's what I was
Halloween.
gonna say. I don't know if I classify him as a villain.
All right.
I don't know.
Yeah, that one came up yesterday. I guess he could be either way. He just wants to get out of where he's at.
I just see him as a
Yeah, it's
Shenanigans.
another.
reckless character.
That's
Yeah.
another movie I need to rewatch and be like, how much it like. Is,
I've watched that a few times.
Yeah.
recently,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still pretty
It
damn
holds
good.
up.
It's weird to see Alec Baldwin
As a
in
child.
that version of Alec
Oh
Baldwin.
yeah.
Because he's such a big guy now, and in that movie, he's not.
Just a very frail, skinny man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me a while to be like, oh, that's right. Holy
Yeah.
shit, that's that guy.
Forget. It's the eyes.
Yeah.
Piercing blue eyes.
What was the name of that assistant guy who was also a Demolition Man playing the exact same character in Beetlejuice? The guy's like,
The art collector
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah. Catherine O'Hara's assistant.
Yeah, that fucking guy. Yeah,
I love that
so
guy.
good.
Wow. But good bad guys.
Yeah. Thanos. Thanos is another good bad guy.
Thanos
Never
is a
saw.
good one.
Yeah, I assume he's bad. I haven't seen any of that shit.
Vader.
Yeah.
Vader.
Darth Vader, yeah.
Wow.
Well, Thanos, that's an interesting one, too. 'cause,
So he kicked all the Avengers' asses in one of those movies.
I mean, do you want us to ruin it for you?
I mean,
Yeah.
It's kind of worth watching.
It is
I would
worth
ma-
watching, yeah.
I maybe don't want to talk about it because I think it is worth watching those last two, Infinity War
well,
and Endgame.
I mean, we've
They're
talked
good stories.
We've
It's a
talked
good
about this
storyline.
on alternate podcasts about how you guys can just dive into fantasy worlds and creatures of yore
Yeah.
much easier than
Uh-huh.
I can.
Yeah. Well, he almost has a Snape quality in his character.
That's
Right.
is that Josh Brolin?
Yeah. Because he feels like
Yeah.
he's doing what's
I
right.
dig Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
I'm pro Brolin.
Yeah.
I'm rolling with Brolin.
Brolin. Oh, what about the guy? What's his name from the Guardians of the Galaxy? The blue guy.
big muscle guy.
Yeah. Well, he ends up being he basically kidnapped Chris Pratt's character, Star-Lord, when he was a kid, and then they always threatened to eat him. And then
Yeah.
he ended up being they ended up coming onto his side. And,
Yeah,
second
I'm trying to
movie
think
stuff.
of that actor's name because I like him in real life too.
yeah.
he's like the wrestler.
I
Oh,
think he is.
Batista?
Yeah.
Yeah, Batista. I
No,
think.
not Batista.
Oh,
no,
that's
that
right,
guy's
we're talking
awesome.
about-
Though.
Yeah, I
No,
love him.
there's the blue guy. But yeah, he's
haven't
really
watched
great
that one
because
as
it's
much.
like he comes around. It's like I like those bad guys that end up becoming good guys because they were only bad guys because of circumstantials.
A lot of the villains written in for those types of fantasy roles, they all have not good reasoning, but they all have valid reasoning to be upset.
Yeah.
I guess. And
They've been wronged in some kind
except
of way.
for Lord of
that-
the Rings, because Sauron's just evil.
Well, I think more
That
is coming out
motherfucker-
about that guy.
What's that?
Well, there's books about Sauron,
Yeah.
like the Silmarillion.
Is
Silmarillion,
Sauron
whatever.
the fucking weird, the scary Gandalf played by Christopher
No, that's
Lee?
Saruman.
Sauron.
Ah, it was close.
Yeah,
Very
you're
close.
Sauron's the eye.
Yeah.
Sauron's eye, but there's a person that became Sauron, and so that's where the Rings of Power kind of comes in. You come in after Sauron had already done some bad shit, but one of the elves finds him shipwrecked, and they end up becoming friends, and he doesn't want to come back, but she kind of makes him come back, and through that, he finds that he can be forgiven for what he thought he could never be forgiven for, which apparently was some bad shit. The books
very
get into more
Snape.
of that, but the series hasn't, but so...
More creatures of yore, bro.
Yeah,
I
man.
know.
Yeah.
Bane's also another good
Ah,
one. Like that.
Bane, yeah,
Bane's a
totally.
great.
Doesn't matter.
I was born. Do you feel in charge?
Okay, so was that okay? So that was
a
the
good bit.
third
I
one,
think
right?
so.
That was
Good
the
bit.
third one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark
Okay,
Knight
so,
Rises.
so enjoyed all
Love
three of
those
those
movies.
movies.
Yeah, I love those
Comma,
movies.
here we go. About fucking hour 45 when fucking Bale's in the bottom of some fucking cave. You're like, well, obviously he's gonna get out of this fucking cave.
How do you know?
Like it's just, a bit, I don't want to be there and be like, there's no way that would be able to hold the weight of a car on the swinging bat hook. Or that's not what I'm talking about. But like he's at the bottom of a cave, Bane's fucking shit up and stuff, and you've got at least an hour of a movie. It's like, well, he's gonna figure this one out. This is a little too fucking
But
easy.
don't you want to be on the journey to how he figures it out? Isn't that part of the joy?
Yeah.
In
You
the
gotta
journey?
Feel the strength build back.
We
with
all
it.
know Batman's going to be all right and he's going to make it out, but we wanted to see how he does it.
Yeah, they just had to use the cave, man. They just had to use
It's the cave that's the problem. The manual labor to crawl
Rather have an
himself out of the
attic.
cave.
You want to repel down from
Yeah.
something rather than
or
climb
just
up
strapped
out of
to a
something.
thing with a laser crawling up. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, the old school villains.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's that, man? Like the blade that just starts rolling.
fucking
there.
Dr.
Yeah.
Evil.
Yeah.
The unnecessarily slow moving.
Yeah, exactly. Sharks with lasers.
That's true there.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I love villains.
I do like villains. They gotta add a little bit of balance. Right?
Yeah.
There's actually a character. The one I'll talk about is from the Buddhist culture, but they show up in all these different cultures. But it's called a heyoka, and the heyoka is a person that their mission basically is to cause havoc and wreak havoc because people need to be reminded of what chaos can feel like.
Right.
But also
Contrast.
that there's joy in all
Chaos
these moments,
theory.
right? And so, so there's like a purpose for that because it gives us an opportunity to check our own values when we see something else because like sometimes we don't know how bad we could actually be until we either experience it ourselves or we see somebody else and we're like, okay, not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm like, well, I wouldn't react that way.
Yep. Or if we're challenged by somebody, like some of our best blessings are to be challenged by somebody.
Yeah.
Because again, we don't know what we're going to do until we've been challenged. And then like as much as we don't want to be challenged by an adversary, sometimes once we do, we really realize what our real morals are and our values are because maybe we compromise them in a way to, win an argument or do something like that.
Yeah, maybe that is why I like villains. It does feel very satisfying to watch someone do something bad and you're like, well, at least I'm not that fucked up. Well, also,
Didn't you always didn't you root for Wile E. Coyote?
I love Wile E. Coyote.
Well, the villain is the Roadrunner. It's not Wiley. I've always pictured the road.
Yeah.
Did I just blow your
Let's
brain?
unpack that. I love that. Yeah, let's do this.
Do you love how
The
matter of
Roadrunner,
fact she
here's
was
the
down?
thing.
She's
Yeah.
like, but there is no spoon. I'm like,
Yeah.
fucking pump the brakes, Neo.
So if
Agent
if I
Smith.
am watching that show or like Tom and Jerry, I would consider the mouse to be the mischievous one and the cat is always the one getting caught
Literally.
and being driven into madness by this thing. And I
love
feel
this.
Roadrunner knows how to get Coyote's
Smart
goat and is pushing and pushing and pushing.
But he's literally like strapping explosives to like fucking anvils and stuff, and then he's just like, wait, it didn't work. Oh,
Yeah.
every
idiot.
fucking time.
He's fucking with them. He knows that he's a lesser thinking being, and he's like, I'm just going to spend my life fucking with this. That's a
really
villain.
great.
God,
I really like that.
I
I
actually,
like
I
that.
actually
He's
think
just reacting.
If I'm
Coyote's
really
just
supposed
reacting.
to think about it, those are probably still my favorite cartoons. Would be the Coyote and Roadrunner shit.
Yeah.
All those Acme boxes and shit, just
Dude.
him with
Yeah.
manuals and stuff, building fucking all this bullshit.
Yep. Like
The
Yosemite
fucking-
Sam,
Yeah.
Also another cartoon villain-esque.
Yeah.
Fucking Dr. Claw and Inspector Gadget.
Oh, that's a great one.
yeah.
You never see his face.
Gadget.
Yeah, it's just the arm of the cat.
Mad Cat.
Yeah. Fucking mad cat.
Did you ever see the live action one with Broderick?
Yeah. Yeah.
Never did.
I did. I don't remember.
Oh,
It's been
yeah.
a while.
Didn't no, that was.
I might have actually watched it again with the kids, but yeah, I've seen it.
Didn't they make two?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Probably. Yeah.
They're on their fourth or fifth.
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
like
It's a
playing
dynasty
before
now,
time.
Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
All right. Anything else on bad guys? Villains?
Watch Debbie Jelinski, please.
Yeah.
Can that be my Christmas present?
Who the fuck is that?
You, for Adam's Family Values. Can you watch that?
Oh yeah. You do.
It's
You
my
just
Christmas
love that.
present.
Don't
I
you
just
just
wanted-
love the more you know there?
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the fuck
What
she
the
just
fuck?
called me?
Debbie, what?
Did you call me bitch?
Oh shit.
All right. We'll see you next time.